channel. Today we're opening up the XMaxx. It's by Traxxas. So let's see what this thing looks like here today. 8S power, speeds up to about 50 miles an hour. It's a big old boy, 1/5 scale. Let's see if we can figure out how to open this thing up without destroying the box. Bag full of odds and ends. Controller right there. Gonna need to get 4 AA's for that. Nice job packaging it. Looks good. What do we got here on the back? Okay. The nice thing about the bodies on these Traxxas is it's off with just one little clip here, and this folds open, and you can just lift this body up and slide it back. It comes right off, and get rid of that bag real easy. The one thing that's different on this versus her Max is the Max comes with a skid plate on the top. We're going to have to add that on here because sure enough, it'll need it. Batteries slip into a compartment right in here where they snap in and out. And we're going to be using the 4S 6700x2 for an 8S package. Got one zip tie we got to cut off. And another one in the front. There we go. So it comes with wheelie bars on the back. Suspension travel seems pretty good. So let's see what we got in the package here. Couple tools. Comes with a new gear. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get the batteries put in here. And like I said, we've got the 6700 milliamp. These are a 4S battery, so we'll have a total of 8S. Should be pretty bad to the bone. There's a little rubber block that you're going to see up here in the front that gives you a nice spacer so that the cables can come through. We'll just drop this right down inside here, tuck the cables underneath, pull them up, and with this over, it's going to snap right into place. That's going to lock that into place. Yeah, we need to get that over just a little. There we go. Now we'll do the same thing on this side. And again, we got the little rubber block here for some clearance. And this comes with some additional blocks that were in the packages. These and these, if you decide that you're going to go with maybe a 3S or maybe run a 5,000 milliamp battery, you got some options to keep your batteries secure in there. Here again, we'll pull this out. Then we're just going to lock this into place. So we're good to go there. And how this unit gets turned on is right up here in the front. There's a push button right here, this little blue button. We're going to hold that on, and it's going to turn the unit on. And if we keep that held down, we can change through 3 possible modes that it has. It comes from the factory. It's going to be set in sport mode. You got a race mode, and then you got a learning mode. And the biggest difference is that in the race mode, it's going to eliminate the reverse. So some tracks don't allow you to have that, so it's going to cut that off. And then in the learning mode, it's going to cut the speed controller down to about 50%. So let's get some batteries in the transmitter, and we'll get this thing powered on. We'll make sure everything's going to work properly. And this is just going to take 4 AA batteries. Pretty standard stuff. Get this locked on. And the on-off switch on this controller is going to be right here on the back. And then we've got a couple of controls here on the front. We got a multifunction, and we got steering trim. The multifunction is for when you're going through like wet conditions and things like that. It's going to help kind of give you like some additional stability is what it's all about. Then on the top up here, we've got a set button, and that's gonna, if you hold that down for 4 seconds after you've flipped over, the truck should right itself. You know, depending on the conditions out there, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. My wife loves that feature on her Max. So we'll get some cables hooked up here. And before we do that, we're going to turn the transmitter on. We got a green light. We'll kind of move the steering trim to the center. And we'll bring the last power on, and then we're going to push the button to activate it. So you can see it's going through a process here. And the number of blinks that you get on the light, if we were to still hold that button down, that's going to determine whether or not it's going to be in sport mode, race mode, or beginner mode. You would hold that down, and then it's going to cycle through. It'll do like 1 flash, it'll move on to 2 flashes, then on to 3 flashes, and you let off when it's in the position that you want. So if you want it in race mode, you wait for 2 flashes, let off, you'll be all set to go. And there's a process for calibrating the speed controller. It comes calibrated, and we're not going to go through that today, but if you go through the book, it tells you all the process. It's pretty simple to do that. So we're going to go ahead and slip the body on this. You can see here it's got a clip on the front, and that's going to come right underneath here by the shock towers. And you're going to drop this down. Sometimes it goes on real easy. I usually have to look under there to make sure I get it lined up properly. You'll have this flipped up. And latch that into place. And that body's on there. This thing is ready to go right now. So you can see we got steering. That's excitement. It sounds like it's ready to go, and so are we.